I wanted to talk about something here today. I was talking with someone the other day, and I realized this has always aggravated me. And I kind of knew why, but I hadn't articulated why, and then it came up again. How often do we hear this all the time when someone describes somebody like, "Oh, he's really nice"?
Yeah.
You hear that as you say, "Well, hold on a second. How is this? What do you think of this guy?"
What does that mean?
I guess he's a nice guy, and I've heard that a lot. And I heard it recently with someone who had a daughter who was telling me, I think who she's doing. He seems like a nice guy. Who gives a rat's ass? It's something that's always bothered me. Sure, listen, don't get me wrong here before I move on. It's obviously good to be polite, to be respectful, okay? But we place far too great of an importance on nice. Don't let nice be your guiding light. Don't let nice be your litmus test. If you make nice your primary value, and I know, ironically, it sounds nice to do. It makes you sound like a nice person. If you make nice your primary value, it can render the rest of your values completely meaningless. Because guess what? At some point, you are going to, if you're a person of conviction, you will have to unkindly defend your values. You will have to unkindly stand for something. Now, of course, I want to make it really clear here. I'm not saying that all nice people are cowards. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying you should be mean. But let me just let you in on something. And I think everyone knows this who's been actually betrayed in their life or who has had something happen with a friend. Betrayal requires nice. True deception requires nice. The devil you need to worry about isn't the one who shows up with a creaky coffin and a pitchfork. It's the sweet talker. It's the charmer. It's the one who can give you everything you want. Or the one who even just provides a little bit of relief. Just eases your discomfort a little bit. Basically a nice guy. And just as certainly the flaws that and we've talked about this a lot on this show, trying to correct ourselves, trying to work towards self-improvement. The flaws that you may look for within yourself, they're not often going to show up as festering sores. Sometimes they show up as pretty bows that you wear to cover them up. And none of this is to say that you should not be nice. Being nice is a good thing. More important than I would say being respectful than being nice. Meanness for meanness' sake just as surely is evil. Don't get me wrong. My point is that as a society, we really do place far too great of an emphasis on nice. We often give it, when you think about it, first billing and how we describe people, ideas, even scarier, and how we judge them. Often the people who say don't be judgmental are the people who judge people whether they're nice or not. And my point here is that nice can lie. Nice can deceive. Nice can be wrong. Of course, so can anger. But guess what? Truth can't. Give you some examples. Socialism, passed off as nice, but it's wrong. Osama bin Laden in particular was apparently very nice to children, but he was wrong. And that's why I've always said I don't believe in political centrism or middle ground for political centrism's sake, because people say, well, look, we found common ground. And oh, well, that's nice. But was the truth found there on that common ground? Let me make it a little less extreme, because I know you're thinking socialism, Osama bin Laden. All right. Everyone knows somebody like this. Think of someone in your life, your buddy, who's the nicest guy in the world, never raised his voice, had a conflict in his life. It could be him or her, okay? We all know someone. Got that person in your mind? He's wrong. Because some things, this is important here. And I know this may sound like, again, I'm saying not to be nice. Some things in life are worth fighting for. And fighting by its very definition is not nice. And sometimes we use the disproportionate value that our world places on nice to abdicate our responsibilities, to avoid what we know is worth fighting for, or to avoid even looking at what is worth fighting for in the first place. And because the fight, even though it may be righteous, we know is going to piss some people off. And that's not fun. That's hard. No one ever blew a gasket at someone for being too nice. I understand that. That doesn't mean that it's right. And this is something that's, I think probably Jordan Peterson has talked about this quite a bit. It's important to be a good person. It's important to be a well-rounded person. Just as it's important to be physically healthy, as it is to be mentally healthy and spiritually healthy. It's important to learn to be polite, to learn to be respectful, and to learn to socialize with others. But just as important, and something we don't often talk about, is to learn how to fight, to learn when to fight, to learn when conflict is appropriate, to learn when the value of nice should be trumped by the value of actually standing by your conviction. So the next time you think about someone, this is my challenge to you this week. We all judge people. So if you want to come in and say, I don't judge folks, yeah, you do. You do judge people. I judge people. Everyone makes judgments. The next time you pass judgment on an idea, on a person this week, I want you to stop yourself and say, hold on a second, am I thinking Is my first value here whether they're nice or not? Or are you looking for what they stand for? By that same token, are you looking at your own ideas and your own actions? And are you saying, am I a nice person or am I a righteous person? Am I doing the right thing? If I could change nothing else this week, it would be that at least even just a few dozen of you go out there and place a different importance, a different level of priority on following, believing, living out your principles, fighting for them when appropriate, and then let's have nice somewhere toward the middle of the pack. That's it. You don't need to eliminate any of them. Let's just shuffle up the leaderboard a little bit. Okay, I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening, watching, wherever you are. I don't care. See, I'm not nice.